This episode of Vibrant Living is brought to you by Link Transit. Take that first step. Learn how to ride. And Blossom Valley, a senior lifestyle community. Join our Blossom Valley family and experience a fulfilling, carefree senior lifestyle.
Dave Tosch, Executive Director, Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Today I'm with Linda Haglund, Executive Director of the Downtown Association. And before we get to talking about the downtown business folks, I thought I'd just say a few words about small business. I've been in my newsletters mentioning the fact of how important it is for all of us to support our local small businesses. I think most people get it as far as what it means. There's a lot of families involved in these small businesses. I grew up in Cashmere. We had a small business in Cashmere. My family had that for years. My granddad built a service station there in I think it was the early 20s. And I witnessed as a young man working there, all of the vibrant activity going on in Cashmere. And of course, the highway was moved and went outside of town, and that did a lot of damage to our downtown. But anyway, I witnessed how important small business is. And my grandmother used to bring me down to Wenatchee and all through the downtown area there, all the stores that she went to, including Morris Hardware, which I remember really well. That was one of her favorite ones. And that sign is still up on the building.
Sure is.
However, I just have a lot of fond memories about the vibrancy of the downtown Wenatchee. And there was also the thing about parents would take their young children to watch the movies while they shopped. That was another feature, Obviously, things have changed. Business has changed. A lot of things have changed. But we still have a strong and vibrant downtown business community. And so, Linda, I've said enough about it. Why don't you talk a little bit about what's going on right now?
Well, I could hear about downtown all day because it's the downtown of my childhood too. For me, one of my most vivid memories was that special treat around my birthday with a black and white at the Al Soda Fountain. Oh my gosh, the Al drugstore, I just lived for that moment to have a black and white. And it is a part of my DNA. This downtown is a part of my DNA, as it is yours, as it is many people. We have a very unique, historic downtown. These buildings are many of them over 100 years old. They've stood the test of time. And just like that, the analogy is downtown will stand the test of this time. Yes, this is a pandemic. But we will survive. Small business owners, I always say, are some of the bravest people. Them and cherry growers have to be the bravest people I know. Because a small business owner, it's tough right now, and it's in a normal condition. But now with COVID and the restrictions and what they're having to do, I think the fear really for small business happened before COVID, and that is the ability to sit on your sofa and click away on your tablet or computer, order pretty much what you want and have it delivered to your door. Obviously, COVID has made that even more important and easier. But I will say that these small businesses downtown have found ways to adjust, what's the key word, pivot, their working model, and they have found ways to help and still stay relevant. Our organization launched a program late fall for the holiday specific, but it went through now into the year called Keep It Local. Just a mindfulness campaign to remember that these small businesses now more than ever need you. And our restaurants particularly are a hard hit industry sector right now. Many of them are takeout only. Some of them are not open at all because the takeout option really doesn't work for their business model. Yeah. So it's a tough time, but the hope and the resiliency I'm seeing out of them inspires me every single day. How they've become creative and remained relevant to bring that awareness that you can make a difference. One little purchase and one little thank you. And maybe that's my charge today for people, to ask them to be mindful with the kindness of the thank you. It's a hard road. Many of these small business owners are doing it all on their own, opening the door and closing the door.
I hate to pick out just one business, and maybe you could mention several, some of the unique things that they're doing. For instance, Firehouse Pets. They've really thought this thing through, and they're open 7 days a week, and you can order from them and drive up to their front door or close to their business, and they will bring the pet food out to your car. And I know a lot of seniors have pets. I don't know how you're going about getting your pet food, but just talk a little bit about that.
You know, Alan and Jennifer Larson, they are true small business heroes, in my opinion, because they listen to their customers and they respond. They not only will bring it out to your car if you drive up, they'll bring it to your home for you. They will deliver it to you, whatever needs you have, even if it's a fun toy you need for because, you know, just like I'm a woman, sometimes I need something new to wear. Your dog needs a new toy or a new little outfit. They're so fun in trying to help you get through that. But I think it's what makes Alan and Jennifer and Firehouse Pet so unique is their staff and their approach to business, their customer service. And you can't give much better. And they have been open the entire time. They've been deemed essential. So they've been able to adjust as they've gone through this to their customer needs as well as anyone, I think.
Hi, I'm Rhonda Bellinger with Blossom Valley Assisted Living. And as you can see by our signs, we have a whole staff of superheroes. Everybody from our med aides to our caregivers to our dining staff, everybody here on staff is a superhero. They've all been amazing through this whole pandemic, and we can't thank them enough. At Blossom Valley, 2021 is going to be the year of giving back. Our trusted business partners, staff, management, and families are ready to give back. The Blossoms are working with various organizations to help our community give back to others. Blossom Valley and Blossom Creek are very proud of our accolades, ranging from being voted world's best for 4 consecutive years in a row, having deficiency-free surveys, to being communities who are part of the J.D. Power highest ranked in customer satisfaction for assisted living and memory care.
Dave Tosch, Executive Director, Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Today I'm with Bob Aldridge. Bob and I go way back.
A long time.
We go way back to the day that I got here. Oh, it'll be almost 8. It's been almost 8 years.
No, it's going on 9.
Oh, come on now, let's argue about it. I got here in 2013, whatever it is, but it was in July.
Well, I got here in 2012.
Okay.
In May of 27th.
Yeah.
So.
See, you know the day. Well, I think you got here, you were immediately crowned the king of the senior center along with your wife Jean as the queen. So tell me the story about being the king and the queen so soon.
We got here, like I said, on May 27th. The next day we were at the senior center trying to find out what we could do and so forth. So anyway, there was a lady here who is dear to all of us. Her name is Ann Tilley. And she talked to the wife and I and kind of asked us if we'd like to be the king and queen of the senior center. And we said, well, yeah, we'll go for it. Okay, well, she put our name in. Lo and behold, we became the king and queen. And that was the marvelous time. We had a big time with Dave Tosch, going to the TV shows, going to different clubs for interviews, and it was just a wonderful good time.
Well, I know that you were the king and queen before I got here. That was in 2012. And when I got here, I was pretty impressed with what you and Jean were doing. So you guys had a second year reigning as the king and queen.
Yes, we did. We was lucky enough to get 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
We would have took the third year, but we got outvoted.
Well, I don't think you were outvoted. I think somebody else had come along and expressed an interest, and we thought, well, 2 years, you know, you've done a lot. So, you know, you probably got tired of riding in all the convertibles in the parades.
Oh, that was fun. That was the fun part about it. Just being out there waving at everybody as we went by.
I remember, Bob, our first Veterans Day program that we had to celebrate Veterans Day. You know, you helped me get that thing set up.
Right.
And I'll never forget that. And along with, you know, you talking about your history in the military, your experience in the military.
Well,
You want to say a little bit about that?
Yes. I was a young person when I went in, about 19, 20. And I had, in my schooling, high schooling, my shop was airplane mechanics. So I took up airplane mechanics. And once I got into the Army, they put me with a 593rd Field Artillery Group, say 8-inch self-propelled howitzers. And I was like the number 7 man on that rod. And one morning we was getting ready to go, and they came to me and they says, we've been looking at your records. We see you're an airplane mechanic with an A&E license. And I said, yes, that's true. He said, come with me. So then I became an airplane mechanic for the 593rd liaison aircraft. Which what is the liaison? The liaison is the pilot. They go out and they spot the enemy and radio back the coordinates, and then our big guns open up. But I worked with them for 2.5 years before I finally left, and it was great. I had fun doing it, but I enjoyed the being there, working, doing what I had to do.
Well, that wasn't always the case in the military, that they put you into a job where you had some skills and training. We all know that.
I've heard of auto mechanics becoming cooks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. But no, I want to thank you for your service, and I know you look back at that as a very positive part of your life, and you know, just. I thought about that first Veterans Day celebration that we had, and you were a big help to me.
Yeah.
So.
I got a photograph at home of me and our whole staff, and I can't believe I was ever that young.
Yeah, I didn't recognize you. But then I have pictures of myself that, you know, I don't recognize either. So,
Yeah.
And it goes back a ways, yeah. So I know you've always told me how much you enjoy Wenatchee. You guys came from Tennessee, I believe.
From Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Yeah.
We drove down here in a new truck that I had just purchased, and pulling all our belongings, and Lord and behold, we got here, and the next thing I knew, we had a yard sale and sold it all.
Hauled it up here and sold it, huh?
Hauled it up here and sold it.
I want to talk a little bit about all the things that you do here. Now, I know you call the Senior Center your second home, and I can witness and attest to the fact that you're here a lot. When we're open,
Yes.
We have to clarify everything right now because we do remain closed for the COVID situation. But you know, tell me what all that you've done here activity-wise, and your wife too.
Well, I'll start with the wife because she's the important one. She worked in the thrift store, actually behind the scene, doing the fabric, measuring all the fabric and all the crafts and all of the yarn and so forth for the thrift store and pricing it. And I worked part-time in the kitchen. I've done dishes in the kitchen. I've done various jobs here, setting up tables and whatever has to be done.
But I know you also do some other things, like Texas Hold'em.
Oh, Texas Hold'em. We used to play Texas Hold'em a lot. We used to play dominoes a lot.
Yeah.
I think if I remember it correctly, Texas Hold'em was on a Tuesday, and the dominoes, the Mexican train, was on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. And it seems to me that you were here for lunch almost every day.
We were here every day for lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the wife and I was dedicated to this to the senior center.
Well, yeah, and I was able to see you here almost every day that I was here, and you know, you were bestowed with a title. Can you tell me, or you remember what that title was? You had a title.
I had a title.
Yeah. Other than king.
Other than king.
How about the complaint department?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I even had a
How
shirt.
could you forget that?
Well, you know, I'm 86 now.
Okay.
But yes, I had the shirt and everything to prove it, that I was part of the complaint department.
Yeah.
Because I was always telling Dave, well, we need to do this, we need to do that.
And I'd ask you, why do you think that? And you'd say, well, somebody complained to me.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Dave Tosch, Executive Director, Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, and today I'm joined by Julie Lindholm. She is the Executive Director of Wellness Place. It's an organization that the Senior Center has worked a lot with over the years, and although you know, we're both kind of closed up a little bit here with COVID, we look forward to working with one another in the future. So Julie, what is the mission of Wellness Place?
Well, at Wellness Place, our mission is to give compassionate support and cancer resources to all residents in Chelan, Douglas, Grant, and Okanagan counties. And we give those services and support to anybody, regardless of age or income.
Is there any cost involved with any of this?
There is not. So we give resources mostly in 4 different ways. Gas cards to get to treatment, wigs for those that are losing their hair, nutritional drink supplements, and lodging assistance. And that's our most top 4 things that we can help people with.
So it's the support groups that are really important to people to be able to sit down and talk about things that they're enduring and what they're going through with their families and all. And obviously right now, there isn't a lot of that. So how do you manage that?
Yeah. So when COVID hit and we had to stop the support groups, immediately we kind of went into the mode of we need to find some national organizations that help cancer patients with virtual and phone support. So now when people come to us, we have on our website a list of 50 different national nonprofit resources for them to go visit. A lot of them are the support groups, and that's a big one that we try to get people to go to. But some of these do financial resources, nutritional, diet, exercise. So we have a lot of different ways that we can help them now that we can't have them in the building.
So you're a nonprofit and you have a board of directors. How do you raise funds for what you do?
So our biggest fundraiser every year is our gala, which is in September each year. We last year did $70,000, and the year before we did $90,000. So that fundraiser is very crucial to us. Unfortunately, last year we had to go virtual with it, a live streaming virtual, and nobody could be in person. So we're keeping fingers crossed this year that we can be in person again. Outside of that, we get a lot of support from donors in the community, businesses, donations, end of the year support. Most recently, a huge amount of support with the community foundation that you and I were discussing. So mostly community support and some grants.
So your facility is located adjacent to Colonial Vista, well, Prestige Living at Colonial Vista. Yeah. And I know that you've been there quite some time. I think Colonial Vista has provided you that facility, which is really kind of them. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, what actually happened was Carl Campbell sold it to Wellness Place when he decided to sell that building to Prestige. So he offered it to us so that we could have a permanent home. So we actually own that building. We're right in front of the main campus, but we now own it. And so we feel very lucky that he did that for us so we could have a permanent home.
And so just how unique is your organization? Are there other organizations similar to it that you stay in touch with to compare notes, or?
Well, we're it for North Central Washington.
Yeah.
So there's no other organization that helps cancer patients like we do in Chelan, Douglas, and Okanagan County. In Grant County, there is the Columbia Cancer Foundation, very similar to what we do as well. But in the 3 main counties that we serve, we're it. So we try really hard to get our name out there, let people know we're here to help, because there's no other resources like us.
Mm-hmm. And so what is your background? Tell us a little bit about that. I know that you're obviously having to communicate with a lot of people who are going through a lot of stress in their lives and so on and so forth. Tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. Well, nonprofit-wise, I've been in a nonprofit administration for over 10 years now. So I get the nonprofit side. The cancer side, unfortunately, I helped my parents through 12 years of cancer. 5 different forms, 6 different occurrences. So I'm very familiar with the oncology department here. When people walk through the doors, I can relate to them from a patient point of view, caregiver, family member. It runs the gamut. I had to, go through that with my mom and dad for so many years, and I feel honored and blessed that I got to do that. But I know that's why I'm here in this role now.
So what are some of the future plans? I mean, for the most part, since you've been the executive director, you've had to deal with the COVID pandemic and not able to do a lot of the familiar things that you'd probably like to get your hands on. So once you do get reopened again, what are some of the plans?
Sure. So the support groups, for sure, right before COVID hit, I had big plans for expanding those. We had one support group, which was women surviving cancer. We were able to expand it out to the younger adult generation, so we called it the young adult cancer, mainly the generation that's still in the working workforce. They have a little bit of different dynamic to battle than people that are retired because they have small kids at home, they have a job to keep. So we started that support group and then COVID hit, so we had to cancel that. But moving forward, when we can get in person again, I'd like to expand out to a specific breast cancer support group. That's the #1 diagnosis in North Central Washington, and it is so many different unique challenges than the other types of cancers. So hopefully we can get that started. Caregiver support group. I know this in and out. I was 12 years, me and my family, caregivers for my parents, and it's a lonely role. And so I'm hopeful that we can start that support group as well.
So if someone wants to get in touch with you, how would they go about that?
Yeah, they can give us a call at 509-888-9933. Visit our website at wellnessplacewenatchee.org. I do encourage people to call because we are limiting the amount of people that we have into the building so that we can ensure the safety of our cancer patients with sanitizing in between people. And right now, a lot of our services we can offer by shipping them. So, or carside service pickup, that kind of thing. Mostly the people that are coming in the doors right now are those that are needing a wig because, you really have to try those on. It's a difficult process, and it's one of my favorite things to help with because they walk through the doors and they're so vulnerable, but they walk out feeling, a new self-confidence. So it's a good one.
So obviously you prefer that people don't come to your door and knock on your door, that you would like to know ahead of time so you can make an appointment with them.
Yeah. But if they do, we'll still be able to help them. We just kind of limit the amount of people we have in the building because we try very hard to keep that place sanitized. Our cancer patients, they're the people that we're all trying to protect with their, vulnerable immune system.
So how do most of the cancer patients find you? What do you hear that people say that, was it a friend or how does that work?
Yeah, good question. So every person that's diagnosed at Confluence Health receives our brochure, and they're encouraged to give us a call.